Okay, so I'm going over my GoToMeeting, and what my GoToMeeting is an interactive whiteboard. And when we do our group lessons, individual phone calls, we will be using my GoToMeeting. And the way you get there is through using this link that's right and housed in Blackboard. So when you open up Blackboard, if you go to the button on the left, this is my GoToMeeting makeups, and so you'll click on this link, and this link will hook your computer up to my computer, and you'll be able to see my screen. And there's occasional times where I can see your screen, but you would be sent an invite only. So I can't ever see your screen unless I send you an invite, and you have to actually press on a button. And the only time we might do that is if I'm looking at something on your computer, or if you couldn't send me an assignment, maybe you were sharing it on GoToMeeting with the class and you wanted to show that. So there's not very many times where we do that. So it's great because you are essentially in my classroom when you hook up to this GoToMeeting. Most of my students use the speaker on your computer, and then you don't have to tie up your phone line. But there is a dial-in number if sometimes maybe the speaker isn't working on your computer or something, and there might be an occasional time where you want to use your phone. Maybe you're I don't know, there's just different circumstances for that, where there's a conference number here, but the default on the GoToMeeting is first using your computer speakers. So if you have a computer speaker from Branson or a computer, it will it should work there. Occasionally there's a computer that maybe does not have not very many computers these days do not have a speaker. So usually I ask you to get about 5 to 10 minutes before your scheduled meeting, so that if you have any technical difficulties there. If you show up and maybe I'm on an individual phone call with someone else, I will mute you so we can't hear you, and you can stay on and you can stay in GoToMeeting. I'll just unmute you when it's your time. So on your individual phone calls, your group lessons, you just click in here when it is your scheduled time, and that way I don't even have to call you. But if you're not on there, I will call you to get you on your GoToMeeting on your calls. There are some webcam policies. So as you can see, my webcam is on. I usually put my webcam on for individual and group calls, unless I'm having a sick day or something. But I do like to have it on, and it does help the students, I believe, to see me. Now, a lot of students like to turn their webcam on, but not everyone can have their webcam on, especially in a group call. It makes the computer run really slow. And sometimes I do have to turn mine off because of that. Maybe the computer's running exceptionally, slow that day. And so anyway, there's some webcam policies. Students are not supposed to turn on their cameras in a group call unless they are asked to do so, or if they're sharing a project, and they can turn their webcam on when they're doing that. Sometimes when we're doing Student of the Week, they will be able to turn their webcam on. Let's see here, what else? So, if they do turn it on, I do ask them to turn it off, because sometimes they are turned on accidentally. Now, on your individual phone calls, I welcome you to turn it on. So you can turn your webcam on during our individual phone calls, unless it's making someone's computer run slow. But you can turn it on during individual phone calls with me only, and be asked to do so, to turn the webcam on if we're doing a group lesson and you were sharing, because we do share a lot, share our work a lot, and your wonderful work, sharing a PowerPoint or sharing a project that you made. But there will be I can send you that request as well, and you can turn your webcam on from there, but students will find how to turn those on by themselves. And then there's some procedure violations here, and I've never had this problem, but there are some circumstances where some teachers have had, if they turn their webcam on, because it can be distracting, and everyone wants to have their webcam on, believe me. So they're just asked to turn it off first time and second time. I've never had to dismiss anyone for violating that, but and then inappropriate, just ask that you're inappropriate attire and have shirts on, etc. for the boys. So that is always there. You can kind of look over that. Now it does say my GoToMeeting and makeup's at the top. Your GoToMeeting group lessons, they are required, and I will set up a time that works for you. So there are occasionally times where things come up and you cannot make it to your group call. There'll be several group calls available, so if you can't make one, we can set up a different time that you can come, or I will videotape yours and or record them, and here's where you would listen to it. Believe me, listening to a group lesson is not as fun as being in it, because you get the kids, they're very small classes, and they're going to be smaller this year, and they all get to know each other, and they get to talk with me and the other students and interact, and this is the a fantastic way for me to see what your child is doing and how they're doing, and teach them new things that parents won't have to do. So, and during GoToMeeting, parents do not need to be there unless they want to listen in on what I'm going over. That is perfectly fine, but this is just a time that I can work with your child. And so anyway, the videos will be here. It'll be underneath this, and they'll be labeled weeks. So they'll say week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. And you have to listen to that, and usually has something there, has some instructions to send me an email. So if you do miss it, there's usually an assignment that goes with it, because you do get 15 points a group lesson. So it's kind of a lot, and those kids who do miss them, if you do miss them, you're missing out on a lot of instruction and a lot of points in your grade book. But you can listen to the video, and you have to send me an email, with an assignment, whatever depends on what we're doing for that day. So that is offered to you, because missing your group lessons does happen, and things pop up. So anyway, that's our GoToMeeting. Very easy. Just remember that this is where you can link up to it. There will be things like they'll ask you for your email and name and things, and not very many problems at all with that. The first couple times, or even the first time, sometimes you may not be able to see a video or have a sound and things, so you have to kind of get that worked out at the beginning. If your computer is on mute, to make sure the video is up and things like that. So sometimes there can be occasional bug there. They just have to work out, but not very many problems with that. All right, that's GoToMeeting. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye-bye.